The whole idea really is that I should be able to move around as freely as possible while striking. That's going to be the most important thing. I need to be able to move backwards. I need to be able to move forwards. I need to be able to cut angles. Alright, so in my last video, you saw and learned how to do a forehand combat strike, right? Yes? Cool. No, you didn't? Alright, go back and watch the video. No, actually go back and watch the other video, learn how to do the forehand combat strike, and then come back to this video so you can see some more applications for it. Alright, so the forehand combat strike, just a quick refresher, it looks like this. I can do that on both sides. Cool. Alright, so now, we know how to do what is my favorite sparring strike, or fighting, or combat strike, or whatever you want to call it. We know how to do that now. That is my favorite one. Now, how do we actually make contact with this? And I'm not talking about hitting something that is not moving, because I can walk over to Bob and I can just smash Bob every time and be fine. No, what I'm talking about now is how do we actually hit something that is moving? Well, let's think about it. If I'm standing here, swinging my chucks around like this, there's a possibility for sparring that they're going to come in and they're going to try to hit me, and I could hit them then, right? But here's the thing, reaction time. They initiated, chances are if I stay here and I just try to hit them, well, I'm probably going to get hit in the head. And that's not fun. I've been hit in the head a few times. It is not fun. So I don't recommend doing that. So, what do we need in order to be able to hit something, or hit somebody, actually is key, hit somebody? We need to be able to move. We need to be able to move and strike at the same time. So, let's work on something that will assist us in that. Now, you can practice this. This would be what I would consider one of the most basic things, is just taking a step forward and then taking a step backward. Doesn't really matter which foot's moving at which time. Just practice moving forward and backward. All right? This is pretty easy once you get it down. But if you've never moved while striking, then it might be a little weird for you at first. So I would say to start off just doing this. Practice moving forward and moving backwards. Okay, so that wasn't really one that I wanted to get to. We're going to do a different one, but I want to just, if you need to, start off with that one. The next one, it's not much harder, but it's better. Subjectively. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to move in this zigzag pattern, which is one of the reasons why I think this is better, is because we're not just moving straight forward and backwards. If you've ever been in a fight, you know you don't want to just be moving backwards. Moving forwards is great when you're entering in, but it's sometimes dangerous as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to step forward at a 45-degree angle, and we're going to strike. You can honestly strike with either one, but this time we're going to strike with the arm that is not the same side as the leg that's stepping forward. So if I'm stepping forward with my left leg, I'm going to strike with my right arm. And I'm going to bring my foot in, and I'm going to step the other foot out, and I'm going to strike that way. And now my foot comes in, and I'm going to strike that way. And I'm going to keep moving forward. And then I can't move forward anymore. So now I'm going to move backwards. And I'm going to do that exact same pattern. So if I'm stepping back with my right, I'm striking with my left. If I'm stepping back with my left, I'm striking with my right. And then we're going to start moving a lot faster with it. But notice how when I move, I follow up with my other leg. So I'm not just, I don't want you to just do this. And now you're in this long compromised stance. No, I want you to move. Move. We're moving forward. We're just moving at an angle. And then you do the same thing while moving backwards. So that's going to be the drill. Practice that at your own pace. If you need to go slow, you can think step, strike, step. Step, strike, step. Step, strike, step. And then again, it's going to be the same thing moving backwards. Step, strike, step. Step, strike, step. And now if you wanted to, you could do the other hand where you're stepping and striking with the same hand at the same time. Now the reason I didn't really show that one first is because I like to think of it as I'm stepping and my opponent is here and I'm just ripping that through them. If I'm stepping and I'm striking with this hand, chances are I'm going to do something more of a pivot. You can still practice that same pattern that way though. Here, here, it's just probably not going to be as useful or as effective, but it is still good to practice while moving. And that's really all that this video is about. You can practice these ones that I just showed. You can practice any footwork patterns that you know applying strikes. One of the big things that I like to kind of teach, I teach one way first and then I change it. So what I usually will show is a step with a strike. And it's a specific step with a strike like I had just demonstrated. Left foot steps, right hand strikes. Right foot steps, left hand strikes. But then it needs to be broken. That pattern needs to be killed, and just after you've got it down, you don't need it anymore. And that's the whole idea. The whole idea really is that I should be able to move around as freely as possible while striking. That's going to be the most important thing. I need to be able to move backwards. I need to be able to move forwards. I need to be able to cut angles. Now, you can't just do all that at once. Maybe you can. Maybe you're awesome. You got that. But build up onto it. Practice some little drills like this. Invent your own drills. The key is to be able to move, and move freely. The hands are not always associated with whatever the legs are doing. I mean, if I knew how to tap dance, I would probably try to tap dance and try to do this. It's I don't know how to do that. But the whole idea is you don't need the hands associated with the legs. You need to be able to move as freely as possible and then be able to strike at targets that open up. Targets that open up. I'm not going to just sit here and strike if his weapon's in the way. Oh, I'm going to strike his weapon. Why would I do that? Why? So you need to be able to strike the open targets. So it can't just be, oh, I stepped this way, so I have to strike with this hand. No. You step this way, so okay, that doesn't matter. You step that way to avoid or to close the distance, and then you strike with whatever hand at whatever target you see that's available. So I want you to practice just moving around and striking at the same time.